Watchlist results got released the other day.
Sorry, don't really know what all that was about. Hey guys, I am Calderness, and we're going to be chatting about the watch list results. Now, first and sadly up on the list, we have the Timebreaker. This guy probably got changed because of a change to Blackheart, but nevertheless, let's go over it. So his old power was choose an adjacent character, place that character up to X squares away from their current square, where X is the number of DWX016 timebreakers and DWXB005 timebreakers adjacent to that character. The new power is once per turn for all characters with this trait, choose an adjacent single base character, and then place that character up to X squares away from their current square, where X is again the number of DWX016 timebreakers and DWXB005 timebreakers adjacent to that character. This change is huge for a multitude of reasons. So the timebreakers were autonomous. If you watched my old timebreaker video, somewhere here you'll find it. That just kind of means the basic strategy that I laid out of being able to do it twice in a turn, and also the big point I make to say in that video is that the multi-base characters can be placed so much easier because usually they aren't able to be placed with TK. That was kind of the whole point to me of Timebreaker. Timebreaker is still really good, don't get me wrong. It's still a autonomous action telekinesis that does not require line of fire. It's still a very strong piece. It's just not as abusable as it could have been. And honestly, I'm very bummed that I can't use it with Pegasus Captain America anymore. It was a good month or so, but alas, Timebreakers are kind of dead.
Oh, why did I buy so many of these?
Next up on the watch list is Blackheart. I know many people were excited to see this piece get changed, and a lot of people were kind of banking on Blackheart getting changed. Well, he is very much changed. So let's go ahead and read his old powers text. Free, choose up to 2 adjacent friendly characters, the monster or mystical keyword, and place Blackheart in a square of hindering terrain within range. Then place the chosen characters adjacent to Blackheart. Now, the new power makes this a power action instead of free, and that's not all. It also makes it so the placed characters cannot be given actions after they've been placed. This is huge. He can still move multi-base characters, which is pretty cool. You know, it's kind of his whole deal, or at least what people really used him with, was with Kong. But this is a huge hit for Kong. Kong not being able to move halfway across the map and then be placed in front of Blackheart for free, and then also buffing his range and everything, hurts Kong teams so much. Now Kong has to either do 2 actions to get across the map. I think it's much more balanced. I don't think this totally kills Kong, but he takes an insane hit. Blackheart was just too good though. He even got unbanned in Pulp because of this change. Blackheart was insanely strong. Anything that mobilizes anything like Timebreaker, like Blackheart, is just incredibly strong in Heroclix. There's always alpha strikes, there's always strong gameplay abilities to mobilize things, you know, Venom Magneto, etc., old Flashes, old Mr. Oz, all this stuff. But Blackheart being able to do 2 characters, it was also free. It was an insane amount of placement, especially when maps are so small. So I'm very happy with the Blackheart change, and I think it hurts Kong teams a lot. Whoa. Slow down. It's actually not that bad for Kong. Yes, he took an insane hit with Blackheart, and I do think he's going to see a lot less play because of that Blackheart hit. But Kong himself wasn't really hit all that bad, and, well, let's just go over it. The new ability is Kong can reduce penetrating damage dealt by characters of equal or less points than himself. So now if you're a higher point character, you can cut through Kong. Honestly, I don't think this hurts Kong so much as it's going to hurt Pegasus Captain America. I think Pegasus Captain America already saw very little play, and he was mostly in response to things like Spider-Man or Wonder Woman or High Super Sense's abilities, but I feel like Pegasus Captain America got a pretty strong buff when Kong was released because he can deal with Kong so well. Now that Kong can be dealt penetrating damage from characters that are more points than him, I feel like Pegasus Cap stock is going to go down, and we're going to already see less play than he was already getting. But Kong himself, I think he's fine with this change. Like, I don't think that change hurts him as much as the Blackheart change hurts Kong. Next up, Poison Ivy. I don't own Poison Ivy, and I was already kind of thinking Poison Ivy was more or less dead. I think she was kind of a splash in the bucket. you know, just kind of caught a lot of people off guard. But nevertheless, they did change her, and I think the change is totally fine for the abusable aspects of Poison Ivy. The old power. At the beginning of your turn, generate a plant hindering terrain marker within 4 squares of Poison Ivy or a friendly plant terrain marker. This game, that marker has, when this marker hinders line of fire, characters instead modify defense value +2. So the change is, at the beginning of your turn, for all friendly characters with this trait. So now they can't conga line markers and generate a whole bunch of them. Instead, only one can be made via this trait. You can still use strong effects like Man Thing, or I think there's a new Swamp Thing that's also going to be able to make these markers that you can place them next to. So that is still strong once that's kind of legal, / if people want to build that way. But now you can't like Daisy Chain conga line with Poison Ivy all by herself, which again I think is a very fair change. I already don't love effects that allow you to attack across the map, so I'm glad this got hindered a little bit. See what I did there? It's hindering terrain. Next up are the trick arrows. These have obviously been taking competitive by storm. They've been the go-to equipment for so many main attackers. I mean, Arachnite is insanely effective with them. If you paid attention to our Nationals coverage, you saw that Elsa Bloodstone Prime was insanely effective with them. Trick arrows are just a very, very strong mechanic that kind of comes in with the big arrow, the 2 dangerous arrow. There's a lot of insane arrows, and I think the biggest thing that I disliked about trick arrows, well, I guess it was 2 things. It was the fact it could be used with close, and yes, you can stab somebody with an arrow, but you know, I feel like that's kind of the point, is the whole archery thing, right? And then the other thing was that you can, again, use 2 in 1 turn. You can just trigger them off of another multi-attack. I was kind of against that, so I'm very happy with the change, and this is how it reads. A force may only contain 1 trick arrow equipment. Once per game, when this trick arrow is equipped, place up to 3 trick arrow cards face down. You may look at them. When this character attacks, they may flip over a face down trick arrow card and perform its on reveal effect. So now it adds, once per turn when this character hits, you may flip over a face down trick arrow card and then perform its on reveal effect. Pretty simple. Now you can only use 1 trick arrow per turn. It doesn't do like just ranged. You can still do it with closer ranged. I guess that's fine. My biggest issue was being able to do it multiple times in a turn, and that has been fixed. So I think this is a pretty fair change. Let me know what you think about it. I still think trick arrows are strong. I still think they have a lot of strong effects you can use. I just think they're not on the busted side of strong and slightly more fair and balanced side of strong. And last but certainly not least, we have Major Brock's Bunker. Major Brock's Bunker, made up of a majority of maps malevolently managed in the meta. Many men marveled to maneuver this maze of a map. But the bunker's benched, boxed, based, behind bars, badly balled up and all but banned. This broken block in battlefield is went bye-bye. Balls. Sorry, I don't really know what happened there. Kind of a shadow of the past type of thing going on. But guys, if you enjoyed this video, let me know in the comments section below. Consider liking, commenting, and subscribing to Dial H for Heroclix to stay, you know, up to date with all the cool goings on in the world of Heroclix. Make sure you listen to our podcast weekly. We've been having a lot of fun over there. And just make sure to share some love. So if you want to support us monetarily, which we would very much appreciate, you can go ahead and join the Patreon, link in the description below. Well, guys, let me know what you think of the watch list. Do you think things got hit too hard, too light? Let me know in the comment section below. But like always, I am Calder Ness, and for all your Heroclix unboxings, videos, podcasts, and more, make sure you dial H. And like always, happy trails.